songs are written by the same person?
Freaky Friday.
They were all written by Vito, but many people don't know that Vito got his start on The Voice. But during his time on The Voice was bittersweet. His mother was actually diagnosed with cancer.
Man, she's just amazing. We were homeless for about 2-3 years on the street, living out our car, She would take us and wash us up in a gas station bathroom and send us off to school. Pretty rough for it. Recently, we got a call from my older brother, and he said that she's been diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer and that she has 2 months to live. I immediately said, hey, I'm coming home, and I'll be by your side as long as you need me to. Hey, Mom, here's dinner.
Thank you, son.
I was taking care of her when The Voice called me.
He was like, Mom, I'm not going to do The Voice because I need to stay here and take care of you. And I told him, no, this is your dream. And it's going to make me feel even better if you go for what you've been trying to do all your life.
As Vito competed on The Voice, his parents were there the entire way. Unfortunately, he was eliminated. But more unfortunate, his mother passed before The Voice ever aired. But Vito never stopped. He kept a promise to his mother that he would keep going and developed a relationship with Usher, who mentored him. And while developing as an artist, Vito continued to write. He spent years grinding, and in 2018, he co-wrote Lil Dicky's and Chris Brown's Freaky Fridays and co-wrote a song for his mentor Usher, Don't Waste My Time, featuring LMA. But Vito always knew that his end goal was to be an artist. And in 2020, he released the record that would change his life, You Got It, a women's empowerment anthem that took the internet by storm. And in 2022, he wrote Chris Brown's Warm Embrace, and recently teamed up with producer OG Parker to release the single Face Down. And a joint album called While You Wait that drops on August 5th. It's been a 10-year grind for Vito. Through all the trials and tribulations and ups and downs, he's still fulfilling his promise to his mom to keep going.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for joining me here for Freeform Fridays on Conversations with Taz. Now let's start with some good hot breaking news straight off the presses coming to you from CNN.com.
We've gone as far as we can go.
A jury finds InfoWars conspiracy theorist Alex Jones should pay $45.2 million in punitive damages to the parents of a Sandy Hook shooting victim. A Texas jury has decided to penalize Alex Jones with a $45.2 million in punitive damages in a lawsuit filed by the parents of Sandy Hook shooting victim Jesse Lewis. Plaintiffs Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis were awarded a total of just under $50 million in both compensatory and punitive damages. Of the total, $49.3 million, the $45.2 million in punitive damages may be reduced due to Texas statute. Care and concern is so important, and we saw what happens when there is a dearth of that. And so I hope that we all just go home tonight, and everybody that's reading these articles and hearing this message, and you choose love with your kids because you can. Lewis said Friday after learning of the jury's decision. That means being present in the moment with them, looking into their eyes, giving them a hug, and just moving from there. Just every moment, realize that you have a choice and your choice is love. The jurors began deliberating around 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Friday after Judge Maya Gamble reminded them that in default judgment against him, Jones was already found liable for defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress against Lewis and Heslin. In an emotional closing argument Friday, Lewis and Heslin's attorney, Wesley Todd Ball, had said to the jury, "We ask that you send a very simple message, and that is, stop Alex Jones. Stop the monetization of misinformation and lies, please." After the jury's decision was announced in court, Jones' attorney, Andino Reynolds, immediately raised the issue of Texas law and the amount of punitive damages. Following the proceeding, he addressed it again while speaking outside the court. "We think that the verdict was too high as for punitive damages. Texas law caps them at $750,000 per plaintiff, so the verdict today amounts to $1.5 million in punitives. Alex Jones will be on the air today. He will be on the air tomorrow. He'll be on the air next week. He's going to keep doing his job, holding the power structure accountable. That's our statement," Reynolds said after court. First of all, he's never held anyone accountable. Okay, this is the same man that said frogs were turning people gay last year. This is the same man during a divorce proceeding a few years ago stated that his whole show, his whole shtick was for entertainment purposes only. You know, the same defense that Tucker Carlson gave, same defense that Fox News gave, stating that they were Fox Entertainment and not actual journalism. Hence the fact that people go online and take to social media to audition to be an anchor on Fox News. Make it make sense, people. But I know several states have caps on damages, etc. That's fine. But the jury found that his remarks were so egregious that they had to set forth a precedent and really hurt him where it counts. And let's not forget, his own attorney accidentally leaked his financial information and years worth of text messages to the plaintiffs. It's giving me very much Amber Heard defense right now, where they're like, I don't want to lose my license, but I don't want to stand behind this bullshittery. We also have an update regarding Deshaun Watson, the unnecessary gift that keeps giving. And this is coming from Browns Digest. Browns make decision on Deshaun Watson's preseason playing time. The Cleveland Browns have decided on what to do with Deshaun Watson in the preseason. The league has decided to appeal the 6-game suspension and Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson, leaving his future in doubt. At this time, the Browns have decided on if Watson will play with the team during the preseason. It was originally reported here. The plan at this time is for Watson to play some in the preseason, though it is not known how much he will play. According to the report, it is not known if he will play in all 3 games or less. Seeing Watson in the preseason could be interesting. It will be the first time playing since the 2020 season. If all goes to plan for the Browns and Watson, he's on the field in week 7 after a 6-game suspension. The league is hoping for an indefinite suspension that will keep Watson off the field for potentially the 2022 season. There is a chance that Watson's only time on the field in 2022 is the preseason. Jacoby Brissett will start the season for the Browns. Josh Rosen and Josh Dobbs are expected to battle it out for the 3rd-string quarterback job, which is the backup for at least 6 weeks. Brandon Little, okay. Kudos to the league for wanting a more extensive and more apropos punishment for Watson. I was able to confirm Big Ben Roethlisberger's quote. He did say that the NFL is no place for sexual predators or for sexual assault. Pot meat kettle. Ben, I am old enough to remember when every time your team traveled, you would peruse college towns and college bars to assault and harass young women just out of high school. So you weren't just sexually assaulting my boy, you were giving us pedo vibes all day. Now, one does not excuse the other, but pot, stop calling kettle. Like, just stop. But let's get into the first video of tonight, and I have no idea what these videos are. They're all blonde reacts, whether they're funny, informative, whatever. This is what y'all sent this week.
Now that she's been found, I just have a few questions. Because some things are not adding up. The details are not detailing correctly for me. For starters, is she in hospice care or is she staying with her son? Because y'all saying she's in hospice care with her son. Is her son run a hospice facility? Or is she staying with her son? Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like she's hiding out at her son's house. And, blind. Is she really blind? Because let me tell you something, I don't know what she's looking at, but she's looking at it. She's making eye contact. She's looking. And what's this? She's about to walk a dog? The dog is not walking her. That's not a seeing eye dog. That's not a seeing eye dog's leash. And once again, here we are. And once again, what is she looking at? Because let me tell you, she's looking in a direction. I don't know, I'm just saying, y'all over here trying to say she down bad, she got cancer, she can't see, she got one leg, she got one eye, whatever. Y'all said a lot of these things, but for an 88-year-old woman, she seems to be getting around quite nicely. She seems to be seeing things and walking dogs, and I'm just gonna have to call Cap. Yeah, lock sis up. Lock her up.
I don't care if both her eyes were failing, all her limbs were failing. I don't care if she was on a respirator at this point, okay? I don't care if she was suffering from long COVID, monkeypox, the smallpox, and everything else. I do not care if all the killer mosquitoes came and bit up her back, okay? Guess what? There's hospice available in prison. They can find her a bed. They can find her a bed. And like I said before, if you can go and get 100-year-old that participated in the Holocaust and still hold them accountable, still put them on trial, yeah, you can put her on trial. Do not let her die and allow her daughter to publish that book. And any publisher that is willing to publish that book, and if they have to go the self-publishing route and they put up a GoFundMe and you donate to that GoFundMe, I'm tired of dealing with you cumpets. Your mama shouldn't have went on them dates full. Because see, if they would have went hungry, they'd have swallowed your boneless children asses. Ugh. Let's go to the next video.
31 white supremacists were arrested yesterday, part of Patriot Front, and their mugshots have now been released. And of course, are public records, so anybody can go look at them. But I thought that we could together go through each one. Now that, they don't have those face masks on anymore. However, I think they've already bailed out because what they were charged with is only a misdemeanor. But if you know otherwise, let us know. This is Winston Durham. This is Wesley Van Horn. And here is Stephen Tucker. And this is Spencer Simpson. And this is Robert Whitted, Richard Jessop, Nathaniel Whitfield, Nathan Brenner, Mitchell Wagner. I think this might be a typo. I think it should say Michael Buster, but we'll just go with Michelle Buster for now. Looks like this one had a rough night, but this is Lawrence Norman. And here is Kieran Morris and Josiah Buster. And this is Jared Boyce, and he looks like he had a rough night as well. And here's James Michael Johnson and James Johnson. Here's another one who had a rough night, Graham Whitsom, Garrett Garland. This is Forrest Rankin, Dylan Corio, Devin Center, Derek Smith, Dakota Tabler, Connor Ryan, Connor Moran, Colton Brown, Cameron Pruitt, Brandon Haney, Alexander Sissenstein, and this is Justin O'Leary. And last, Thomas Russo, who happens to be the leader of Patriot Front. And we need to continue to call out the white supremacists. We need to continue to call them out and fight against white supremacy.
Yeah, because they're so proud of what they're doing that generally in public, they use their flags to cover their faces. They use their signs to cover their faces. They wear masks to cover their faces. What are you proud of? And before trolls come into the comment section and go, and it's because people like to get them fired. Nobody's getting them fired. They're getting themselves fired because they know that they're standing on the wrong side of history. They know what they're doing is egregious. They know that they're trying to change the narrative as they have done historically since the Anglo audacity stepped foot on Native American soil. Because let's not forget the Red Summer, where there was one particular city where there was a white crime boss who implored white men to go out in blackface. You know, when you're face to face with someone, I mean, you can spot blackface a mile away, but especially when you're face to face, you know that wasn't a black man sexually assaulting you. You know that wasn't a black man beating you to a pulp. But those white women went along with the narrative to protect their own necks, saying that they were assaulted by black men, which gave way to a portion of the Red Summer. Just like we saw with BLM protest, where you had the opposition matching the attire of the protesters and setting fire to businesses, bursting windows, causing damage, creating fights. Look what Kyle Rittenhouse did. Permanently injured one person, murdered two. But they're so proud that they have to cover their faces. And when they don't cover their faces, the masses behind them will just push them into martyrdom and give every excuse known to man, no matter how hypocritical or illogical that excuse is. And y'all gotta excuse me tonight. I am trying to fight off a food coma. Didn't want to go to sleep and take a nap because I wouldn't have made it tonight. I ain't gonna lie. But in the same genre, coming from 89.9 WEKU, a judge unleashed a tirade on a prominent January 6th defendant for his post-plea comments. A federal judge reprimanded a prominent pro-Trump social media personality and January 6th Capitol riot defendant for making questionable comments in the media about his plea agreement and cooperation with law enforcement. Those comments, U.S. District Court Judge Dabney Friedrich said, were inconsistent with what he previously told the court. He's losing more and more credibility by the moment, Friedrich said at the hearing, which was held via teleconference. Judge Friedrich said the defendant, Brandon Straka, was possibly opening himself up to prosecution for lying to federal investigators. See, they feel so emboldened to do such because of a combination of Trump's lies and their willingness to allow themselves to be easily indoctrinated and brainwashed. All the Anglo audacity and white privilege. Because, these are people who have skated past accountability for so long. For so long. Even when they're facing the consequences of their actions, they still do not get the ramifications and what could potentially happen. They're like, oh, I went to court. I can say how I really feel now. I just lied in front of the judge, to make it look good so I could get this lesser sentence. Straka, the founder of conservative #WalkAway campaign, did not attend Wednesday's hearing and was represented by his attorney. Oh, of course. Of course he didn't attend. Why would he? Why would he take time out of his busy day to make sure he doesn't end up in federal prison? By this point, his case has largely been resolved. Back in September 2021, he agreed to plead guilty to a misdemeanor charge of engaging in disorderly and disruptive conduct in the Capitol building or grounds. At sentencing, he avoided jail time and instead received 90 days of home confinement and 3 years probation. Bro, you got a literal slap on the wrist and you decided to pick that mantle up and run with it. So you need some non-white friends. You need to get out of the alabaster animaniac army for a moment, because okay. Wednesday's hearing was ostensibly focused on an apparent mistake made by the court, in which a clerk accidentally unsealed sensitive records detailing Straka's cooperation with federal investigators. Also, you snitched on your homeboys and then tried to go back and boast and brag and act like you didn't, act like you was the tough guy, you didn't fold. Did they give you chicken? Did they do like they did on the first 48? Is that what broke you? Because chicken seems to break everybody on the first 48. They always bring in some chicken or a soda or something, and then the people start spilling their guts. Like, they don't care about the sentencing and stuff, that the time that they might be facing. People don't seem to care about that. Like, how long did they keep you in there on the first 48? You ever been on the first 48? Let me know in the comments. A coalition of media organizations, which included NPR, had asked the court to unseal documents in the case. The court inadvertently made more available than the judge had intended. I bet they did. The judge was trying to have your back, and you fucked that up. See? Just a good old boy. Never meaning no good. And you messed up your golden goose. They try to let y'all slip through the cracks. And y'all just bust through like the Kool-Aid man going, look at me. I swear. The records described how Straka provided significant information about pro-Trump Stop the Steal organizers, including Ali Alexander, Amy and Kyle Kremer, and Cindy Chafian, sorry. Prosecutor said Straka provided investigators with a voicemail he had received from another January 6th defendant, and that evidence was valuable in the government's prosecution. Damn. Well, everybody else deleting stuff. You keeping receipts to save your own. But they said there's no honor amongst thieves. In another instance, the records say Straka helped identify yet another potential suspect who was not previously identified by the FBI. Did they give you a stake? Because this feels like stake behavior. Did they give you a steak? Did it have that good mushroom sauce on the top? Was it medium well or medium rare? Please don't tell me you had it well done with ketchup like Trump. Or did they give you McDonald's? Because y'all seem to like that. Straka publicly reacted to the release of records, which were first reported by Washington, D.C. based TV station WUSA 9, by appearing to minimize how much he cooperated with the government. Duh. Find me a cishet straight man that ain't gonna lie about everything. They gonna lie about their body count, their size, their money, and how women have wronged them. Tell me I'm lying. To me, making the choice to sit down and answer questions was a no-brainer. Nobody I know committed any crimes, and I have no evidence of any criminal wrongdoing from anybody. Bruh, they already said you gave up the messages. They already said you identified somebody. So you knew them. You didn't just go up there solo dolo. It's already come out that y'all were having all sorts of meetings leading up to this, my boy. You just decided, got to see it through. And you got caught up. My thing is, it's okay, because I ain't ride or die. I'm ride or slide myself. I will slide right into the witness box to tell on you. The fuck? But I wouldn't have been at January 6th. I'd have just reported all of y'all. Trust me. I was so on my Nextdoor app when January 6th happened. I was looking for anybody to say that they was there. I ain't lying. And if you one of my neighbors, or used to be one of my neighbors, and now you sitting in lockup, yep, it was me. I don't care. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You sitting in the clink clink. Stryker wrote in an open letter he posted online, "There is nothing wrong with talking to the DOJ and telling them your friends are innocent." You didn't tell them your friends was innocent. And friend groups are a collection of like-minded people. So if you have non-pro-Trump, non-cultish, non-white supremacist friends, how did you end up at January 6th? Inquiring minds would like to know. He claimed that nobody that I answered questions about was arrested so far. As far as I know, none were visited. Do you think that the Department of Justice is going to tell you what they're doing? Merrick Garland already said they investigate in private, and after they have all their ducks in a row, they've dotted every I and crossed every T, then they tell us. That's why Trump is scrambling now, because indictments are coming his way. Judge Friedrich was apologetic for the mistaken release of the sealed records. I bet he was. They probably had an agreement, which she chalked up to human error. She acknowledged that the release was especially concerning because records of cooperation with the government can put law enforcement sources in danger. We don't care. We don't care. He put law enforcement officers, civilians, duly elected officials in danger. He was part of a crowd that wanted to murder the then vice president. I don't even like Mike Pence right now. I've never liked Mike Pence. I need him to come out the closet. Like, it is okay, baby boy. Live your real truth and stop calling your wife mama. And now I understand why she got to be around you all the time. You have no impulse control when it comes to Zamins. Well, you know, I digress. Straka, you snitched on your homeboys. You snitched on your homegirls. Those donations are going to stop. Because one thing for certain, two things for sure. Trump supporters cannot research any facts regarding Trump, any facts regarding the conspiracy theories that they believe. But they do research each other when y'all turn on each other. All of a sudden, they'll find everything. Look at what they did to Madison Cawthorn. Look at what they did to Lauren Boebert. So, baby, every bit of dirt that you have, they're confirming it. I'm just going to sit back and wait for the rest of the tea to spill because I was not expecting this version of tea. But let's go to this next video.
I made an honest mistake, and I hope that in your ruling that it doesn't end my life here.
I've said it before. The amount of THC that she had was well below the amount that warranted a 9-year sentence. They agreed to take this plea and forego the trial because they were promised certain things that did not happen. There was also a white woman who had well more than Brittany did. She got a fine. She was able to go home. Sounds about white. This is a targeted play at the United States politically. I've been saying this. I'm going to say it again. If Russia was not at war with the Ukraine and the United States didn't take the stand that it took in sending equipment to the Ukraine, offering refuge to Ukrainian refugees and things like this, Brittany Griner would have never been arrested. Also, if women's sports as a whole in the United States would take a page from professional soccer organizations and even things out across the board, where it's like, if this is your position, this is your starting pay, and then you increase by this. If you've been in the league this long, this is the boot. Like, normalize it, standardize it for once. Stop the pay discrepancy. Because a professional athlete that is putting their body, their livelihood, their mental stability on the line for your entertainment, just like teachers, nurses, doctors, etc., should not have to take secondary jobs and work all year round just to survive. Let's keep it moving.
This is a real trial. This is a real trial. Really.
Saying, Mr. Jones, that you're taking these court proceedings seriously. You're approaching them in good faith. But the truth of the matter is, you've been broadcasting repeatedly a picture of our judge on fire, haven't you?
Objection compound, Your Honor.
No. The person on the left of this image is our judge, correct?
Yes.
The person on the right is another judge you don't like, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The man Cassidy of it all, because this is a men issue. Not all men, but this is a man issue. You posted it. Your attorney even said today, after everything was over and done with, that you're going to be doing your job tonight. You're going to do your job tomorrow. You're still going to be on the air doing this, that, and the other. Like, you have learned nothing. You're not even trying to learn anything. But you put things out in the public. And what do they say? The internet is forever. Even if you think you've deleted it, there are those of us that know about the Wayback Machine. There are those of us that if we can remember the date of when you posted it, we can put your username and the date into Google and poof, it's back. And you're doing this in real time while having a trial. Okay. Okay. This is what happens when the Anglo Audacity and the man Cassidy come together and have a baby. That baby is Alex Jones. That baby is Alex Jones. You can't convince me that it's not. You cannot. Here we go.
History. There has never been an individual who is a greater threat to our republic than Donald.
Do y'all understand what was just said and who said it? That is one of the evilest human beings that has ever walked the face of the earth. When the devil decides to come up to go to Los Angeles to catch a Lakers game, he has to call Dick Cheney ahead of time. He got to check in with Dick Cheney. I said before, that motherfucker has a small, malnourished Guatemalan child running around in a hamster wheel in his chest. He does. The motherfucker, if you look up evil in the dictionary, you will not see his picture. Why? Because he killed the last motherfucker that printed the picture, printed evil in the dictionary and put his picture up there. That's the motherfucker that, he's the real life version of Darth Sidious. And he just said that Donald
Liz Cheney is so done with Trump's shit that she reached back into the crypt to pull her daddy, Dick Cheney, out for an endorsement and to condemn Donald Trump. Dick Cheney is the same person while on a hunting trip, while Vice President of the United States of America shot his own friend in this region. He took John Cena, Can You See Me, to a whole nother level. And after dude got shot, he was still kicking it with, do you know the level of pissed off a grown ass woman has to be? Like, this woman is probably sitting back contemplating whether she wants to continue to even be a Republican at this point. They done pissed her off so bad. Now, granted, she's had some moments here and there. She ain't the greatest person. Like, she is the spawn of Satan. She's had some moments here and there. I'll give her that. She's had some moments over her father where, yeah, she looked like a decent human being. We're not giving her flowers because she is still problematic on a lot of levels. And if y'all want me to break that down, let me know. I can break that down in another episode. But do you know what it takes for a boss chick that's grown as hell to be so fed up that she picks up the phone and goes, "Hey, daddy, I need to tag you in." Because things got to get bad before I call a good pastor and be like, "I need you to go check somebody." Like, it's getting... Y'all better be glad Liz Cheney ain't like me and got a gang of brothers. Because if she would have called them brothers first, it wouldn't have been a calm camera shot. That mafioso lifestyle that Trump likes to cosplay, they'd have brought that to his front door. They would have came knocking like, "What's good?" Ooh, child, here we go. Liz Cheney done... Oh my God, she done resuscitated her daughter and got him out of the crypt to come and say Trump ain't shit. Do you know how fucked up of a person you have to be for Dick Cheney to say you ain't shit? I thought my head was spinning when I found out George W. became besties with Michelle Obama. And one of the former drunken Bush twins was on a morning show, being a mature adult parent and spouse. But this there's a glitch in the matrix. It's Neo, I need you to come back and fix this shit. Neo, get White Rabbit, get this together. Get it? The fuck? Okay. Let's go to the next one.
Hello, and welcome to Tip to Keep Your Ass Out of Jail in Florida. Not only will it be very painful, but it's also illegal to have sexy time with a porcupine. In Florida, you know somebody had to do this before it become a law.
First, it was the signs discouraging people from having sexy time with alligators and crocodiles. And a porcupine? Y'all do know those quills shoot out, right? And then to get to... How do you look at a walking cactus? And I'm not trying to kink shame, but how do you look at a walking cactus and think they got body yada 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 and want to... I'm assuming they found out about the person who was responsible for the law because of ER visit. Was it an ER visit or EMT visit? Because when they shoot out the quills and you're in close proximity, they go pretty... It's like pulling out an air... I've never had my brain broken before, and the fuck. What? How you? How, I'm gonna just go to the next video because I have just so many questions, but I don't even know how to phrase them right now. I just okay.
Ahmaud Arbery pursuer seeks leniency in hate crimes sentence. The white man who initiated the neighborhood chase that resulted in the fatal shooting of Ahmaud Arbery is asking a federal judge to show leniency when he's sentenced next week for a federal hate crime conviction. While Greg McMichael deserves a substantial period of incarceration, his defense attorney said in a legal filing he should be spared a life sentence, though he has already been sentenced to life without parole on a separate murder conviction. McMichael also wants the judge to transfer him to a federal prison so that he avoids serving time for Arbery's murder in Georgia's state prison system, which can't ensure his safety from attacks by other inmates. Hear me out on this, Trumpers, all you just comply types, and you back the blue types. Hear me out on this one. Fuck Greg McMichaels. Maybe we should show him the same leniency that he showed Ahmaud Arbery. And I don't think you need to be concerned about your safety. They're going to find you no matter where you are. Trumpers, enjoy.
See, it's that Anglo audacity again. You want leniency, and you want your safety insured. When was Ahmaud Arbery's safety insured? When did he receive leniency? Because he's now chilling with the ancestors. Well before the ancestors were calling him home. Where is the leniency? Where is the protection for his parents, his siblings, his other relatives, his friends? Where is the leniency and the protection for the Black community, the entire Black diaspora that is left with PTSD because of us consistently being hunted down, us not being able to just live our lives? Because I don't think people realize the random times that names will pop into our mind, pictures of these individuals will pop into our minds, and we break down. I don't think people take into account when we go out in public and we have that moment of panic. Because of situations like this. There's consequences for your actions. Throw the entire book at him and put him under the jail. Also, just to let you know, shortly after the conclusion of tonight's broadcast, if you follow me on TikTok, if you don't, get over there. Link is in the bio. Make sure you follow me over there. Bring a friend over there to follow me also. I got jokes and some good information. I'm going to have a little bit of an announcement regarding something that I received in the mail. You're going to love this. But we got 2 videos left. Let's get into them.
So you're absolutely right. When the word first got out that she was in North Carolina, people started storming nursing homes looking for her. Her son, Timothy, took her out of the facility. They got in the car. They went to Louisville, Kentucky, or the area around Louisville, Kentucky, basically to hide out. His son left his family to do this and try to keep her safe, and then she was found to be in Kentucky. But yeah, they've been hiding her. But here's the thing. At the very least, she gets to experience a little bit about what Emmett experienced. When they came for him, they were looking for him, she gets to feel a little bit what that's like. And even if she...
Okay, I had to cut that. Let's go by actual history. She's not experiencing anything. Not a little bit, not a lot of bit, not a what a bit of what Emmett Till faced. There was no one, there were no means to hide him and move him from city to city, state to state. They put out this sob story for this poor old white lady. You can't put her in jail. No, they know what she did was wrong. Because if you truly believe that you're innocent, and you dictated a whole memoir to your daughter, claiming your innocence and claiming that you're just as much as a victim as the murdered child. The murdered child. Where you at, pro-lifers? Where you at, all lives matter? This was a child that was literally brutally tortured and murdered for merely existing. This man left his own family to go swoop up his mammy. And yes, I mean mammy. And skirt off to my Commonwealth to come hide out. And more than likely, they're probably in Jessamine County because those racists will hide him in Jessamine County. I done lived here long enough. And I've been to Jessamine County. And if they're saying around Louisville, my guess is she's in Nicholasville. If you know, you know. Because I had a very disturbing encounter at a Wendy's in Nicholasville. If y'all want to know about that, I can do a story time on TikTok because it's not a very long story. Because y'all know I don't do you about to unalive me while I'm trying to get a junior bacon cheeseburger. And yes, that is my judge at Wendy's. And if you don't like a junior bacon cheeseburger, I think something's wrong with you. Bacon is good and goes on everything. And for those y'all, I know I'm going off topic a little bit, that's like, I can't believe you eat pork. There's turkey bacon, there's beef bacon. You can even get carrot bacon. Get your life, okay? I don't care how the bacon comes, as long as it's good and crispy. I don't want that rubbery crap. And I don't like my Canadians. I love y'all. But a slice of spiral ham is not bacon. Hell, y'all cook horses up there. Y'all still don't know what. Never mind. I better stop before I stop getting my good Canadian maple syrup. Love y'all. Like the video we had at the beginning of the night where the lovely gentleman was saying he wasn't buying what was being put down. And I agreed with him. And this is why. As more information comes out, we see. This is why sometimes I'm a little slow to speak on stuff. Because I'm like, the math ain't mathing. The math ain't mathing. Y'all are hiding this woman and skirting her around. She went from North Carolina to this place to Kentucky. If she's so innocent, let her go through in front of the judge and tell the judge what she put in that memoir. If she's so innocent, hand the memoir over to the Till family. Let them go through it. Let them publish it. Racist. We are tired of you profiting off of our trauma. We are tired of you creating trauma for us in order to profit from it. And your excuse is always, it's just this, it's just that. Oh, it's been so much time. She could have changed. She obviously didn't change, nor did her family. But the best gotcha moment with her ass, there's now Black people in her family, like in her genetic lineage. Because I told y'all last year, that biracial and Black family members of her were trying to locate her because they were hiding her from even that side of her family. They were trying to find her to out her to the rest of us. Y'all know I don't delete shows. You can go back to 2021 and look. But here's our final video.
So apparently a hospital in Nebraska said that women can't wear messy buns to work as a nurse. And y'all, white women are outraged. The messy bun gone, oh my God. Like, black women haven't been saying this for forever about our twist, locks, braids. And y'all remember what white women said to us in our comments when we were talking about being able to wear whatever hairstyle we wanted to work? They said it's just hair. It's company policy. Y'all need to learn how to follow the policies. But you know what they're saying about messy buns in the comments? A messy bun has absolutely nothing to do with how well I do my job. They're short-staffed. They should be happy that I'm even showing up to work. What does my hair have to do with anything? Funny how it's never a problem until it affects you. Just like Roe versus Wade, where y'all thought you couldn't be affected, and then look, you were affected. It's so funny how y'all conveniently forget that an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
We had to have legislation passed for us to be able to wear our hair in cultural styles or just how it grows out of our head. Because our hair is deemed unprofessional, regardless of how professional we are, regardless of how qualified we are for a position. And that goes hand in hand with some other nuanced and intersectional conversations that we can have later if you'd like. Just like white women get it when it comes to them and them only. Because right now they're running right into the point and still missing the intersectionality. They still don't see us in this conversation. See, it's just hair when they tell us it's ghetto, it's uncouth, it's unkept, it's unprofessional. Until it becomes trendy or shows up in a movie. Like, Bo Derek and her infamous braids. And then they rename it, they market it, they profit off of it. And then they want to wear it to work. But now a style that's comfortable for them, a quick fix in the morning. I get it. When my children were younger, I rocked a ponytail for years. Because after doing my two daughters' hair once to twice a week, and I used to cut my son's hair, both of them, because I have 4 children that came out of me, and I got 5,000 kids now that I love dearly. They're all my babies. They're all my... Let me not go there. Because I will go on a tangent about my babies, but I digress. I wore a ponytail for years, and I wore buns for years because it was easy. It was upkeep on my hair, and I really wanted to make sure, my kids had spectacular looks and stuff like that. I could be simple, but it's like now, oh, your messy bun is not professional. Okay. Like, now you're getting it. And your messy bun doesn't have any cultural significance. Your messy bun didn't lead people to freedom. Your messy bun didn't give sustenance to people fleeing chattel slavery. Your messy bun didn't save lives. Your messy bun isn't historical. It's literally a fashion trend. Your messy bun isn't protective. It's just easy. That's it. It's just easy. And those that are upset that one hospital system, because hospitals are now systems, it's rarely just a singular hospital that's not in a network. You're missing the bigger conversation. You white women that are offended by messy buns being deemed unprofessional, you're missing the bigger conversation. They're wanting you to put in more energy and effort, and they're taking you back to the origins of the candy stripers, the nurses, the flight attendants. Don't understand what I'm talking about? Do you remember the original job descriptions for these things? Yes, you had to have background and knowledge in those areas, but they wanted you to be eye candy more than anything else. More than anything else, they wanted you to be eye candy. That's why flight attendants had to be a certain height, a certain weight, have a certain look. Same with nurses and candy stripers. Think I'm joking? Google the origins. Look at the original. You were meant to be eye candy to uplift the patient's morale because they didn't care about women or non-binary individuals. They cared about scintillating and tantalizing men. Just like they do now. It's a patriarchy. But that's what y'all wanted, right? That's what y'all keep supporting. Until that patriarchy bites you in the ass. But we non-white women, once again, have been telling you since you stepped foot on indigenous soil in the United States that this is what was happening. This is what was going on. And we kept telling you what you have to look forward to. But you don't care until it hits you. And then you only want to fix the problem for you. And that is about as helpful as knowing that you have a burst pipe in your home, but you only want to fix it enough that it runs well to the kitchen sink, but still leaks throughout the rest of the house. Excuse me, but I digress. Like I always say, this is my 2 cents. I'm going to sit it on the table. You can pick it up or you can leave it there. Also, there will not be a viewing party tomorrow, but there will still be a Childhood Rewind on Sunday. We're just going to have to watch it separately. You can find Scarlet, the miniseries from 1994, here on YouTube. If you put in Scarlet miniseries part 3, you can watch it. Just because your girl's actually going to leave the house tomorrow. So I'm going to be the cult jam to my friends Lisa. That's 2 different people named Lisa, not the actual singer Lisa. So yeah. And I'm still thinking about it. Maybe tomorrow I'll do a special episode just with snippets of Trump unraveling on Truth Social. We'll see. But like always, each one teach one, each one reach one. And sorry for the lags and delays tonight. I don't know what's going on, but y'all be good out there.